Good morning. Sorry about that. It's a long day already. How was your weekend? Got way too many windows open, sorry. There we go, I lost the chat. Oh, Denise says, what kind of sneaker is that on the thumbnail? I don't remember what it was called. Let me try to think. I don't know. I bought them when I lived in San Francisco, so I don't know. I've owned them for 25 years. I don't recall. Don't recall. Cool. What was my weekend like? Oh, well, I took the kids to a fair and had your typical alligator lunch. That was the highlight. Helped my son work on his car, those kinds of things. Those are great. All right, you guys ready to get going? Let me remind you that trading is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Please stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, never risk money you cannot afford to lose. Yo, yo, yo. Nice to see you. My name is Wayne. I'm a currency trader just like you. I've been thinking about trading all weekend. So not only did I sort of just hang out and be a half-decent dad and husband, but also as a currency trader, I burned through 2 books. Yeah. So just kind of interesting. Actually, one of them, actually neither of them were Forex books, but they're investing books anyways. So anyways, I like trading, I like investing, I like short-term, medium-term, and long-term. Very cool. So I've been doing currencies specifically and commodities for about 20 years, just a little more than 20 years. And before that, I was a venture capitalist. Before that, a high-tech entrepreneur. So I've been around the capital markets for quite some time. And I still have a love and a passion for them. So I spent much of my weekend focusing on all my loves and passions. So anyways, cool. So what do you want to do today? We have a Fed meeting on Wednesday. We have Bank of England on Thursday. We have and Swiss National Bank and Bank of Japan on Thursday. Tuesday, I think we have, or maybe it's late tonight, we have Aussie meeting minutes. We have what, inflation out of Canada. There's a GDP somewhere. Okay. So anyways, very interesting week, and I'm hoping that we get through all this volatility. Remember, news is just volatility. So I'm hoping next week we have a nice sustained trend. So lots of vol this week, and then maybe a trend rears its beautiful or ugly head, one way or the other. Which books? Oh, kind of like financial poetry. Fun things like this. Yeah. Nice. What do you think? Look like fun? Yeah. Interesting. Beautiful poetry. Making a beautiful poetry. Yeah. Cool. Anyways. Yeah. Well, what this is leading up to is I will do a stock trading course. And the stock trading course leads up to portfolio construction and management. So I bought a bunch of books and just knocking them out. And I'm not really getting any inspiration from any of them, which is sad, I suppose. Because now I just got to figure out what I want to do and do it my way. That kind of stuff. So anyways, let's get on with it. Let's see what you're up to. Please fill out the poll. Okay. Here we are at tradersway.com. If you need a foreign exchange broker or one that trades Bitcoin and some other cryptos or ones that offer like gold and silver and oil and palladium, that's Traders Way. They earn my loyalty and respect, and I recommend them. Visit tradersway.com if you're going to open up a demo account. Doesn't take long. It takes seconds, in fact. We have Swiss National Bank this week. When they lied to us, 8 years ago, they put other brokers out of business. Traders Way was perfectly fine. And that proved to me that they don't trade against their clients. That's why I respect them. Looking at the polls here, see what you're up to. 42% risk off. Well, that is what has been happening, so that makes sense. 1/3 maybe a slight risk on, and neutral, quite a few. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Let's just start with the Japanese stock market because I'm here. Here's the trade plan, as you can already see. Okay. So I'm in waiting mode. And looking for a bullish move to the up. Probably something like this. What do you think? Not quite there yet, but what do you think? That would be risk on. What's up, Shrug? Okay, what do you think about that? I have one waiting on here, pending. Kung Fu pending. Okay, that's what I'm thinking about. I got plenty of time. What do you think about this setup? Down, up. You okay with that? Sky Killer says, Coach, wouldn't it be fair to say the market is waiting for the Fed meeting? Without a doubt. Quadruple witching Friday brought the market down, and now everybody's waiting. Yep. For sure. Okay. But the thing is, waiting is different than reacting. So many market participants want the market to fall so they can buy it. Other market participants wait for it to fall so they can sell it. But then they're selling low and probably will get run over. So it really depends on what you want to do. So you can see I'm looking for the risk on. Okay. So what do you think? Bank of England's going to raise on Thursday. Yeah. But I think the issue is, wait, do I have Quant box open? Yeah, I think I do. Oh, it's over here. I have Quant box open. Here's the Commitment of Traders report. I'm sure you've already reviewed it. Right? I'm sure you have. Of course you have. I want to do... Come on now. There we go. No and no. Okay. And then I want to do only. All right. So here's the issue that I'm thinking about this week. There are many, but this is one. We have this decision here. Okay. Will the Bank of England raise interest rates? Yeah. Very, 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 very high likelihood. But isn't this the interesting one? Inflation is right before the interest rate decision. So could there be something so dramatic on inflation that it influences their decision? It's plausible. Okay, kind of like what happened to us last week. We had a CPI reading, headline up, core down. Now, it seems like people are worried about the Fed because the headline's up. Now, in my humble opinion, I said, ignore the headline and focus on the core. But nonetheless, this is why we have confused and choppy markets. And we'll see how that'll impact the Fed's decision tomorrow. The Fed's not, or Wednesday, I should say. The Fed's not expected to raise interest rates. Not until the next meeting. But maybe it'll move their dot plot. Who knows? But again, I look at core and core improving. Headline high, but that has to do with things like gasoline prices. But anyways, going back to the UK, what if inflation drops dramatically? Okay, then the policy by the Bank of England might be working. Ooh. And that maybe they don't need to do this. Well, that's unrealistic, but maybe they're done, like the bank, like the ECB. Maybe it's a one and done. That'd be interesting. Look at retail sales, huh? Just like, wow. So, anyways, could be interesting. That's what we should be interested in is the Bank of England at the end, similar to the ECB. Quantbox is already scoring today by looking at the VIX, the yield on the 10-year T-note, gold, dollar index. Did I say Japanese yen futures? I think so. VIX, I think I said that. The S&P 500. Okay, just a slight tint to risk off today already. But you should already know this as a subscriber of Quantbox. All right. Okay. I have a mediocre to poor trade going on here. So I'm looking at that as support. Okay. And maybe, just maybe, something like this. That's a risk on play. Just a little price action, nothing fancy about it. I guess I could have been actually fancier, but nothing fancy about it. Okay, not the greatest entry, but I think at the time, like, I don't remember every detail of every trade, but anyways, I think what happened is it bounced here and I got suckered into this idea where it was after the test and the test held and then it left me hanging. Thanks, brah. Euro's a dog with fleas. CAD is at the top. Okay, CAD is at the top. I'm definitely interested in buying it. It's just, it's difficult. It's difficult. So let's look at this on a smaller time frame. It's just difficult, that's all. Because we know this is a nice little entry, this is a nice little entry. And in the normal world, this is where you stop buying. We know September is the one of maybe only 2 months out of the year that the higher high is plausible. I mean, it's not even plausible in other months. But this month it is. But do I buy it here? Before a Fed meeting? Oh, I don't know. I want to, but I don't want to. And that's my problem this week. So then I find myself buying Aussie instead. So anyways. Okay. Here's your Swissy. So we have a Swiss National Bank interest rate decision this week. And euro is now tanking, right? Does this impact the Swiss National Bank? Well, if money leaves Europe because their economy is collapsing, maybe money flows to Switzerland. Okay? And therefore, okay, what is this? Euro down, Swissy up. Now, does Switzerland and the Swiss National Bank, do they want a strong Swissy or a weak Swissy? So when discussing their interest rate policy to be announced on Thursday, and the answer is weak, by the way, then the decision most likely on Thursday is not up. I guess I should have made that a different color, huh? It's hard to see. How about we'll make it green? Okay. If euro's tanking and people are moving money out of Europe, and by the way, that's what makes it tank, then they move it to a Swiss bank account, or maybe they want to buy U.S. Treasuries. Okay. But anyways, if they move money out of Europe and they move it to a Swiss bank account, that makes your Euro Swissy fall. But Swiss National Bank doesn't want a strong Swissy. So on Thursday, their interest rate decision will be to not raise interest rates from 0 to 0.1 or 0.25. They'll say, no, we don't want to do that because they don't want the Swiss franc to get strong. What do you think? Okay. So I don't know. But the euro, okay, the euro may be coming down for quite some time. Maybe. We don't know. But that's, I might say it this way. That's my hypothesis, and it might be wrong. But it's got to make logical sense. And that might make logical sense. It might. It might not, but. I'm also anticipating that they don't raise it anyways. So it already fulfills what I thought. So I got to be careful. Okay, Bitcoin up, but that's my trade plan anyways. Trade plan. I have Bitcoin going to 31.5. How about you? Thomas says, which one will be strong, euro or dollar? Well, again, if people are removing their investments away from Europe, euro would not be strong. So where do you guys have euro going? Mine's just back to the top of the range, that's all. But the thing is, it could break the range and go higher. Okay. What do you think? Is it going to double, go to 50? I'm just following the trend, bro. Okay, it dropped one standard deviation, right? Bitcoin dropped to here, and now it's done one of these things, and okay, it might work its way to here. Along the way is 50K. But that's just psychological, but you know, it's important. What do you think? Any thoughts? I just have the first leg. And of course, I did this for you 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Someday. Okay. And it's, by the way, it's the monthly position trade. This is, let me do it in pink. This is MM2, which predicts MM4 if you're a bull. Well, Richard, this is a risk on play. You don't need to know nothing about no Bitcoin. If you're macro, you're just saying money's either flowing to safety or toward risk. So if the dollar's about to weaken, people would rather own Bitcoin. I'm a dollar bear. Now, I know things can get worse and suddenly we get safe haven flows, like money leaves Europe and it moves to the United States because they would rather own U.S. Treasuries. Well, no one's buying U.S. Treasuries right now. So maybe they want to buy the U.S. stock market like the S&P 500. Oh, good. Well, I'm long. But that would bring some dollar strength. Yeah, but there would also bring some risk on capital flows. So it makes the dollar confusing, but nonetheless tradable. All right. Moving over to my WTI. I know this is hard to see because I planned this 2 weeks ago or something. Okay. I got all my legs. What I'm trying to show you is, right, I haven't moved the first leg. So the first, what we've been planning is oil would go to 93.5. Okay. Yeah. 93.5. Richard uses Bitcoin as a risk on, risk off gauge. Yeah, that makes sense. Frank's thinking annual pivots. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, but I'm using monthly first and foremost. Okay. Okay. Annual doesn't really give me that much. Okay. But 93.4 is my monthly R3. So it will be an important number. Okay. But are we on our way to 150? Maybe. I mean, in my humble opinion, the U.S. government has been shockingly dangerous with their energy policy. Could we get to 150? You know what? I think it'll slowly drift up. I think the world would be, not terribly shocked if we're on our way to 100. But if there is some sort of disaster, like a tornado comes or a hurricane comes in, or I don't know, that's the most likely scenario. A giant hurricane comes in and takes out Texas and Louisiana. We're skunked. We're dead in the water. And yeah, we go to $150 a barrel. Yeah. Yeah. So we've no, but it higher than that. Because there just isn't any oil. The issue going on, I think, is everything that was a problem here was never fixed. I did a whole oil trading course to cover this idea. The thing that made oil go up is still ever present. So we threw away our safety net, and now our vulnerability is 10 times worse. Massive. Not only could the USD be a terrible currency in the long run, again, through government mismanagement, negligence, human-created disaster, but then also the same sort of negligence with a real commodity. And the interesting thing about all of this is when you run into high levels of inflation, you're supposed to buy commodities. Commodities go up a lot. But that's sort of like that's an issue with the currency. But there's also no supply of crude. We don't have any backup resources anymore. So we're one disaster away from being like the all-time high. Okay. So yeah, $100 a barrel. We've been talking about that since about July. I think that's when I started talking about it in July. I think that's when Goldman Sachs said $100 a barrel. It was back in July. And now we're nearing it. Now people are interested. But again, that's already happened. But is it plausible to go back to 120? Yep. Is it possible to go to 150? Supply shock. Yep. Okay. There's sort of another side issue, and this is political, so I'm probably going to get hate comments. But the U.S. government just paid ransom to to Iran to get 2 prisoners out of Iran. So they paid the ransom. I thought, out of all the movies I've seen, you're not supposed to pay the ransom ever, right? You just, don't you know that from watching all the movies? Never pay the ransom. So anyways, it seems like the White House has paid the ransom, and the deal they negotiated was $6 billion to get 2 people out of prison. $6 billion. Now, this is to allow Iran to sell oil, so to lift the embargo for the $6 billion. But then I thought the embargo was there to prevent them from building weapons of mass destruction, in particular nuclear bombs. And I'm like, what the? First of all, $6 billion. And then second of all, basically bypassing your own embargo to prevent nuclear weapons. You're like, what? Oh, wow. That's right, Johnny. He's a Harvard man. But yeah, what he was the negotiator. Was it for New York City Police, NYPD? Oh, he was FBI. Okay, I thought he was NYPD. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I studied him in my negotiations class. Watched, or do I have his book? No, I don't think I have that book, or maybe I have a digital version. I still have all my textbooks, which is funny. But anyways, yeah, you're like, I don't know. I guess these things are complicated. I'll leave it at that. But it doesn't sound like 6 billion. And it's not even the 6 billion, but it is the 6 billion. That's insane. But on the flip side, what are they going to do with the money? They're going to build weapons to kill people, probably more than 2 people. Right? Like, is my logic wrong? 2 billion is too much, or 6 billion is too much for 2 people. In particular, if they take all the money and they build weapons, they'll kill 1 million people. So I'm like, so I struggle. Maybe I'm not looking at it right. But it seems like that was some pretty lousy negotiations. Wow. So anywho, wow. And just, to me, I'm struggling with it. All right. So we've had all those beautiful moves. We got some green on the screen, which is good if you are a bear. Because you want to bury it if you're a bear. Okay. And what do you think about something like this? Okay. Yeah, so we made it to the monthly central. So we know what this is, right? I guess for all let me do a quick sales pitch to join Investor Bootcamp. Here it is. Okay, Investor Bootcamp. It's $88 a year. In this training course, let me pull up one. This one. In this course, okay, we say when you see this happens, and it's both an issue of time and price. So it's not always like if you're over here, different rules apply. So going back to this course, all of these, though everything is $88 a year. You get everything. It's insane. In this situation, and only this situation, in this course right here, we say it returns back to this level here. Is that accurate? Not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here, not here. But just in this one situation, you should expect the move down to here. Is that right? How many people have done the course and know exactly what I'm talking about? So true. So, yeah, like maybe for those that haven't paid the $88, maybe it's worth it. If you think buying 88 lottery tickets is a better investment, then you should do that. But anyway, so now J-Mo is thinking, can it do this? Yeah, I think so. In particular, if you're risk on, Fed nearly done. I think what we're going to learn, though, is the dot plots are going to be the big thing Wednesday. And that's vulnerable. It's a vulnerable scenario. So when are we going to do the fourth quarter outlook? It came across my mind this week, and I'm like, oh my God. Well, why don't we do it on Wednesday? What if Wednesday afternoon I did about an hour review of economic conditions? Then we watch the Fed interest rate decision, and then we get the summary of economic projections, and then we go through that together. Is that worth $10? Yeah, it should be $12 by now, right, Jim? Yeah, I have to. I only thought about it over the weekend. I haven't had time to create it, and that was my problem. But I kind of saying it out loud so that I'm kind of committed to doing it. Frank says he'd pay the $12. Yeah. I'm more interested in whether you want to show up or not. So to me, I don't care if it's 10 or $12. Um, yeah. So I'm forcing myself to do it. Yeah. Forcing myself to do it. So there you go. I guess this is what I'm going to do for part of today. I mean, like coaching is interesting because you preach what you need to hear. And doing like a special event like this forces you to do the work you need to do. You know, like we all know the things that we need to be doing, but we're not doing. A classic example is, I need to eat better, drink less alcohol, work out more often, that kind of stuff. Walk the dog if you have a dog. I don't have a puppy anymore, but sometimes you need to put yourself into situations where you force yourself to do the stuff that you probably won't do. So, anyways, that's the motivation. All this work always needs to be done, no matter how busy you are and how tired you are. The work is the focus, right? Yeah, let's not get overboard. So anyways, so yeah, okay. So I'll work on that today. I'll work on that today. All right. So anyways, so there's our yen, or not yen, sorry, peso. Oh, my peso. Oh, my peso. So mark the X. This is a fun little practice. Mark the X. There's your 4H21. Drop into a syncopation. Okay, and wait. Okay. So let me make sure I'm doing the right thing. Hang on. Will you sign up for the Q4 Outlook? Let's see. Oh, wow, look at that. Like 15 people just left. Huh. Well, good thing I asked. Oh, is that rude, huh? That rude. Cool. Mm-mm-mm. By the way, I am going to start a YouTube channel where I go through your trade plans. That's also on my to-do list to start very soon. But again, I'm going to be busy doing the quarterly outlook. But the idea is this, like, one, you get AI feedback. Two, you get social feedback. And now three, you'll get personal feedback from me. Okay. So what I'll do is maybe 10 a day or something like that. What do you think about that idea? Never even thought about it. Do I have the channel? I guess I can't bring it up. Or do I? Can I? Let me try. Do I even have it? YouTube. I created the channel. There's nothing there, but can I switch this account, not kill my stream? Is it here? I don't even know. No. No, I don't even know where it's created. Actually, I'm a little bit surprised that I don't see it on this thing. So anyways, you'll have to look for it. So it will start very soon. So yeah, well, I figure I can burn through 10 trade plans in 20 minutes, maybe less. 15 minutes, I can do 10 trade plans in 15 minutes a day. So I think that might be helpful for those learning technical analysis. Okay. So maybe I'll try today. Maybe I'll even do one today. So if you, because now I've got to check out this, because I created the channel, but now I don't see there on my list. And I tried to find it earlier, but now it's not. So anyways, post a trade plan, and I'll try to get to it today and give you some feedback. Okay. Okay. Richard, I think that is somewhat true. Yeah. I'm not going to get in a debate. I'm like, I think a lot, price is important. Price action is important. Yeah. I would agree with that. Is it the only thing? No. What should I do next? What do I want to do next? I'm just basically waiting. Waiting. Just, interesting little observations here. Pound dollar, at a monthly bottom. Okay, M3 to M1. But we also know on this particular month it could go to S3. But once again, not really something that, it's not a certainty, but it looks like that's what's going on. Money may be coming out of the UK because they're raising interest rates one more time, but they can't raise more than that. Same situation as the euro. Inflation is high, but GDP is 0.1. So they're done, is the idea. They're done. So the only saving grace is if suddenly the Fed tells us that we should be risk on, that we want our stock markets to go up, and the stock markets in the United States do go up, but it seems like everybody wants to buy the same 5 stocks, so it pushes those ratios high, and that maybe investors say, well, what, they already own all of those things, right? Institutions might already own the FANG stocks or whatever. So maybe they're like, well, now maybe I want to buy some British banks. So, right? So Société is down today. So maybe you're like, I want to own a French bank. Société Générale down 10% today. So maybe at some point, the better deals are in Europe and UK, but not happening at this second. So we watch. This is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, technically down. Yeah. Cool. So with that, without further ado, I guess I'll just leave you to it. We're about 20 minutes away from the stock market open. Lots to do. It's a busy week. Don't forget about the RBA meeting minutes. It's probably not on your list of things to do, but it's so easy and so quick that you make sure you knock that out. Yes, if you're in my day trading group, I'll see you at 4 p.m. for the market close to set up tomorrow's trades. Peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. Thank you for your feedback on the Q4 outlook. That's great. So I'll work on that. And I'll see you soon. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, I'm going to do the trade plans. I'm going to try to do the trade plans today. So upload a trade plan, and you might have yours reviewed. Plus, of course, it's all about the AI, right? So have a wonderful day. Nice to see you. Bye-bye.